All right, I believe the stream is starting. Let me double check here. Oh, I see something. Hey, everyone. Nope, that's not it. Cool. We'll let everyone kind of get in, but we got about a minute before we officially get started. Let me check Discord, make sure everything is looking good for you patrons. Um, hey, everyone. Why is it doing that? That's interesting.
Oh, your camera's inverted.
Yeah.
That's wild. It makes your place look totally different.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me make sure that everything's good on the Discord. Everything's kind of freaking out. People are saying they can't get in. There it is. I'll put this in the cool. Now we'll let people start popping in. I see Kaylee. What up, Kaylee? Good to see you.
Kaylee in the house.
Laura, good to see you too. Colin, Alex. Okay, here we go. Now everything's working. I apologize. Okay, guys. I apologize. I know I've said this a million times, and I thought I had it all sorted out before we got started. YouTube sucks. YouTube is the worst. I'm sorry that this platform is kind of trash sometimes, but literally at the bottom of my stream page where it like manages everything and it says, "Hey, you want to share this out? Go ahead." I like copied the link that they provided, and it doesn't take you anywhere. It just takes us to the Sneak Attack homepage. So I actually had to go into like my video library under YouTube Studio and get that unique URL, but I'll remember that for next time. I apologize that it was off to a bit of a bumpy start, but I'm glad everyone's here. Sorry for the confusion. Just want to confirm that you guys can both see and hear us, both myself and Mike and Dan.
Yeah.
Hello?
What up?
We'll let everyone else just keep rolling in here. Laura says it's good. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. So, welcome to the June 2020 live stream Q&A. It is good to see you guys or hear like see your comments. I'm Reed. That's Dan. Mike's down there, and yeah, we're glad to be here for you guys. So, as you can tell, Josh and Kelsey are not here. No, to my knowledge, they have not had their baby yet, but they do have baby related duties that they must attend to, which is why they're not here. So, we give them a pass for that. Babies are important, and being prepared for a baby is equally important. So, Jess Lou, good to see you. How are you? So welcome everybody to the June live stream Q&A. I'm glad you guys are here. As always, want to thank you guys for being patrons. Thank you for supporting Sneak Attack. Thank you for supporting our program. And for the live stream, as with every month, if you have a question you specifically want to ask us, and you would like to bring it to our attention and make sure we see it, please put in all caps question : then your question. So like start your sentence with question in all capital letters, and then colon, then ask your question. Then we'll be able to see it. Then it'll like pop into into my vision so I can see it. Unfortunately, Mike and Dan cannot see the chat, so I'm gonna have to relay everything to them. Uh, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Ask away any questions you guys might have. But yeah, I just want to we'll start off the same way I start off most all these things. How are Mike and Dan doing?
Bueno.
Good.
What have you guys been doing in the month of June to keep you sane?
I don't know. I mean, I play video games at night. That's great.
Little escapism.
Yep.
So what's the escapism of choice right now, Dan?
Video games?
Yeah,
I'm playing Call of Duty pretty hardcore right now.
Call of Duty. Call of Duty. He's pretty good. I played with Dan last night. He was frying, dude. I was definitely the anchor of that boat. Dan was the sail, and I was dragging us back.
Really?
Oh, dude, I was playing. So like, I'm like a 50-50 player. Like half the time, I'm just gonna fry. Like there was a game a couple nights ago where I had like 8 kills coming out of our drop. I was like, holy crap, I'm doing great. I think I ended the game. We got second place. I ended with like 12 kills. That's really high. That's really
such
high.
a great
for me.
game.
That was a great game.
Such a great game.
It was really high for me. That was really high for me. But then there are times where Danny just like goes off and is just absolutely dominating, and I'm getting like 2 kills with 100 damage, and it's just embarrassing. So yeah, that's kind of that. It's kind of about one of these days we're gonna sync up.
That's it.
like
the
a-
stars need to align,
yeah.
and then we'll just win all
Yeah,
the time.
when,
all the games.
It's like when you're sitting in a turning lane and you have your blinker on, and the car in front of you has their blinker on. It's like
Yep.
the blinkers are alternating, and then sometimes they sync up,
Yep.
and then they get out of sync again.
Mm.
Question. Reed, has your wedding ring always been bright yellow? If so, lol, I'm blind. No, this is a silicon band.
Ooh.
So
Nice.
my wife got it for me for Father's Day because I don't know, my actual wedding band is it's a little snug, but at the same time, I don't know. I just like I've been working from home so much. I'm just like I'm just not gonna like put it on. It's like, well, I should probably wear one. So she got me a silicone one, and it's nice. It's much more comfortable.
Nice.
So what about you, Mike? What have you been
She'll
playing?
hook you up.
Yeah.
I usually play Call of Duty with the boys. Shout out to the boys; they're all here. But that would take up my whole computer.
Yeah.
So I'd just literally have a computer to play Call of Duty. Feels bad. But I've been playing World of Warcraft. Shout out to that game. The little indie company runs that.
Yeah.
Blizzard Activision. But it's been fun. I've been playing with someone that I became friends with on the internet, like you used to do, like 8 years ago.
Wow.
So like you actually like met people in World of Warcraft and you like became friends. Now you don't do that because it's like the game doesn't care about that. It's just like, well, we'll just queue you with people and you don't have to actually talk to anybody. So this guy has been an internet friend for a while, and he lives in New York, and he started playing again. So it's kind of been fun to do stuff with him on there.
Mike, are you being catfished?
No, I mean, I don't care. I don't
Okay.
care. He
I
get-
mean, good.
I don't.
That's good.
There. If that was happened to be, he's not a guy in New York.
Yeah.
Nothing have I ever
That
done
relationship
would
doesn't
make
change.
that
Okay.
yeah, the relationship. We're still keeping it 100.
All right.
You know, it's just be like, hey, my bad. If you're a lady or whatever.
Susan in Wichita.
Shout out to Susan in Wichita. If that's actually you. If it's not actually Albert in New York, I'm gonna be mad.
That's it.
So
I cannot believe World of Warcraft 16 years. Yeah, no, 16 years. That's right. Holy crap! It has been out for 16 years.
what a game.
And they're still making stuff. And I mean, they're probably making millions of dollars a month. I can't. I mean, we need to get in on that racket. Question from Amelia: if you guys, Reed included, could hang out with any NPC from either volume, who would you pick and why? Oh, that's an interesting question.
You think the Chancellor would be a cool guy
Oh,
to hang out with?
Absolutely.
I kind
absolutely
of think
not.
he'd be a cool guy, but he'd be very unpredictable.
No, I think the Chancellor would be like, um, he'd be like if a mob boss had like the mental fortitude of like a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
He's like, just like whatever random thought pops in his head he wants to do, but he has the means and the
Yeah.
power and the finances to accomplish it.
Yeah.
So he'd be like, "Hey guys, you want to go like do cocaine off a Neptunian like crater?" You're like, "Yeah, I guess." Like
Yeah.
he
You
could,
want to take my private plane to Hawaii? And
yeah,
then he throws you out while you're over the ocean.
right, yeah. He'd be like, "Okay, like I'll toss out the parachute. You go get it."
Yeah.
Like that would be the Chancellor. But I would like it would take years off your life, but it'd probably be fun for
Oh,
a hot
yeah.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Mike?
No one in Volume 2. I'll just say that.
Not
I
even.
don't want to. I don't want to go to that place. I'd rather go to the fantasy.
Yeah.
Mm.
So,
I want to hang out with Martha.
eh.
Martha seems like good people. She'd make me she'd make me mashed potatoes.
Ooh.
Man, who? I would say anybody. I would hang out with the druids. I can't say myself,
Mm,
but anybody in the druid clan, I'm there
sure.
in the Evergrove. So let's go there.
Virgil Folklore, hang out with him, the
Mhm.
guy who was tasked with protecting the stone.
There you go.
Yeah, I'd hang out with all of them because they're all me and I think they're great.
Got him.
Question from Alex. This
Bad answer. You were not
Got
going to let him slide with that, folks. Give
Got
us a
him.
real one.
a real one. I'd
Yeah.
hang out with Thalen. I think she'd be cool.
Mm.
She'd
There we go.
balance me out, I think, because Tegan is mostly me. So, uh, question from Alex. This is a good question, and I think one that applies to all three of us, not just the players. How do you plan to get back into character when such a long hiatus ends?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I think the answer for Dan is he's never in character. So
That's true. I'm just playing.
It's
I'm
just
just playing
Dan
me.
playing
I'm just
Dan.
keeping it 100. I'm just keeping it 100, baby.
Another day.
Another day, another Dan.
You can pick it up right now. I don't know. I think I don't know if this is what you're going to do, Reed, but we had kind of talked about this since some time has passed. Something that would be nice for me. So just thinking selfishly, as I do, it'd be nice to have Reed like have some actual time happen between where we left off and kind of just maybe set us on. I wouldn't say like a whole different trajectory, but just like some things have happened, here's where we're at now, so it doesn't feel like such a oh no, what was. I'd have to
Right.
listen to like the past 5 episodes and be like, okay, this is where I was at, just to like have it sync correctly. So I think there is something to um Reed kind of prepping that a little bit for us.
Uh,
2 years later.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, that is my plan, kind of going forward. It wasn't like that was never the plan pre-COVID, but I'm gonna have at least a little bit of time pass, because the episode we ended on actually is a fairly decent little like bookend to that like pre-adventure on Dawson, I think it was. So the fact that like like the thing on Dawson finished. They delivered the Mishi slugs, and Mike and Josh are in kind of a tumultuous state, or Chip and Lucky are in kind of a tumultuous state. I think we can like take a step back, peace out for a bit, and then do maybe like a little like prologue of like, hey, here's what's happened in the month, 2 months, whatever, however long I decide, and say now here we're caught up and blah blah blah. And so some time will have passed in the game as well as obviously the real world. So that I feel like that's just a nice like minor reset button. Just like, hey, let's get everyone back to an even keel. Here's where we're at with the knowledge we have before. That's a good question though, Alex. Like it's gonna be tough. I think. I mean, it's just gonna be tough to like get back into the recording mode again. But I think trying to ease everyone back in the easiest way rather than like remember exactly which hand was holding your pistol because you've got 2 hit points left. And it's like no one remembers any of where we were. Question. This is from Colin to all three. because video games, what are your favorite Borderlands 1, 2, pre-sequel, and or 3 characters? So your favorite Borderlands characters from any of the Borderlands games.
Oh man.
Player characters or just anybody?
Who's your favorite character? I'll answer for him. Who's your favorite
Okay.
character to play as, and then who's your favorite NPC?
I'll go first since I'm probably the newest at this and you guys are veterans, but I would say is the last one 3?
Yeah.
Okay, that one's bad. Um
Yeah.
I like 2, but that's really the only one I played, and I played that on the very tail end with Reed, and played some DLC stuff, but I love Flack as
Yeah.
a character. I'm mad that I did not come up with that for, like, a D&D character, but, he's great, I love him, and I love everything about him, and NPCs, I don't really have a favorite. Like I said, I only remember playing 3, and I didn't really like anybody in there per se, like, nobody really stuck out to me, so
Yeah.
Tiny Tina.
Tiny Tina's
yeah.
Tiny Tina is probably my favorite NPC. In the campaign of 2, she's so good.
Yeah.
Uh, and she actually does have a kind of like a tragic story because she's
Mm.
like perpetually stuck in this chaos mode because her life is so tragic, but she just masks it under this veil of like it's like her brain is fractured and she's just like permanently a kid because of trauma. So I mean, it's kind of sad, but it is also kind of funny. Tiny Tina or Handsome Jack are my favorite NPCs. Handsome Jack, great villain. Love that guy. Voice actor was mwah. I thought he did great. My favorite player character is Mordecai,
Mm-hmm.
but I really liked um who was the siren in 2?
Lilith.
No, she was in 2, but she was who was the playable siren from 2? She was
Mm.
like the blue. She was in 3 as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. I don't remember.
I don't remember her name either, but yeah, I really enjoyed playing the siren in 2. She was very very strong. But I think Mordecai was my favorite player character.
I don't remember his name, but the soldier class in 2.
Axton.
You just felt like a one-man wrecking crew.
Oh, and like those turrets you could put down were OP. But
So awesome.
yeah, I think it was Axton was the soldier in 2. That was super good. I love Borderlands. Danny and I Borderlands 1 might be like my most played game of all time.
Oh,
Maybe
so
right
good.
behind SOCOM 2. But I mean, like Dan and I played Borderlands 1. Oh my gosh, just a stupid amount.
So
of time.
much.
Yeah,
So much.
It's so like Borderlands, regardless of how bad 3 was, will always kind of hold a special place in my heart. This from Laura. Question: Reed, do you have stories about the Necros demon fish that you mentioned super early season 1 of volume 2? Yeah. They are a scary fish on the Bakarian homeworld of Javatra, which early on in the Bakarian history, like in the Bakarian lifespan, they were like terrorizing the Bakarians. So that's why the Bakarians are so good at building weapons, because they've always been like low on the totem pole in terms of like food chain. They've been low on the food chain. Everything in their planet can kill them easily. So they've had to adapt and survive and learn how to craft things that kill enemies and kill their the people higher up on the food chain. Otherwise, they would have been exterminated. So they just kind of have always had a knack for that. But the Necros fish was literally, it's so violent and literally so aggressive that it drove them off their original homeworld. If I'm a little fuzzy on the details right now, but it either Siren in Borderlands 2 is Maya. Thank you. It either drove them off of Javatra or drove them off of their homeworld to Javatra. I'm not entirely positive without checking my notes, but yeah, they're a big scary demon fish. Kind of like the anglerfish from Outer Wilds, a little bit like the anglerfish from Outer Wilds. Great game. You guys should play Outer Wilds. Question from Christine. No matter what happens with COVID, I'm assuming Josh and Kelsey will be taking their parental break for some time. Have you as a group talked about any time frames? That's a good question. Yes, we have talked at length about time frames, and we always knew that around this time of year we would have to take a break regardless. We would hope we would have got season 3 wrapped by this time. like recorded by this time, so we could release episodes even after their daughter came. Um, Obviously, you know, the world had other plans, so we're kind of in a different spot. But right now, the plan is we just need to wait and see until Josh and Kelsey are both comfortable getting back together, whether that's comfortable because of their daughter or comfortable because of COVID or anything like that. And so it really just needs all parties involved to be cool getting back together. And I think that's just regardless of like parental responsibilities and all that stuff, we need to be there first. Then we'll cross the parental responsibility threshold and make sure everyone's good on that end, and then we'll go back to recording. So unfortunately, I don't have an answer, like a good answer for time frame. I just, you know, I hope soon, but I honestly can't give you a concrete answer. Nothing that I think like I would be comfortable telling people with any type of certainty. Um, Thank you for the question, Christine. I know, like, I wish I no answer is a bad answer, but I kind of that's unfortunately just where we're at. I wish I had something better to tell you. Question from Kaylee, or more specifically from Amelia. Do you guys like to create extra characters outside of games for fun or as backups, or do you focus on making them as they're needed? Danny, I think, has an answer.
I love making extra characters, but the problem is, as soon as I make one, I want to kill off the character I'm playing so I can play the new one.
Yeah, and I won't let him.
Yeah, it's true. I come up with voices, I come up with everything. It's like ready to go, always in my back pocket. So like if my character died in an episode, I could just pull out another one.
He just like he treats his characters like ones. He's like it's nothing, nothing, nothing. Get it out.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike? You got something on the mind?
No, I don't really think about that till they're dead.
Well, I mean, you got Furby Tamagotchi in the wings.
Well, yeah, I guess. But I'm not trying to kill my character to play that one. That's like, here's what I would play in a whole different setting. No respect, Danny. I'm just gonna say that. No respect.
Yeah, good grief. You know what I mean? Like I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this, and you're just like, kill him off. Question from Alex: what pro sport are you missing the most this summer? None of them. I don't give a crap about sports over the summer. Now,
What
if
pro sports go on in the summer?
basketball, baseball,
Yeah, I don't watch those.
yeah, the basketball finals would probably be like ending right now in a regular year, or they would have ended like a couple weeks ago in a regular year. Baseball would be about halfway through the season right now, but football doesn't start until September. So unless everything rolls into September, I don't give a crap. But if the NFL is affected, I'm going to be upset. I mean, like safety first. I'm fine with that, but like, let's be real. Football needs to come back. I always play Hunter, Class, and Mordecai, and Zero were my go-to, but for Borderlands 3, I was all about Zane because he's hilarious. As Zane was very funny. I enjoyed Zane a lot. Although the tank class, the gal you played, Dan, like with the mech.
Yeah.
What was I forget what her name is, but
I don't. That
Diva?
was fun.
Yeah, just Diva.
Yep.
If you can spec that character to be like literally all you need is her, and she can just roll over everybody. It's so stupid how strong she is. Sorry, I'm just getting caught up in chat. It must be difficult because even though the rest of you have had children, this is the first time both parents would be at the table. Yeah, no, and that is the tricky part, Jess Lou, is like for the three of us, we have a spouse at home who can watch the kids when we're going to record. Josh and Kelsey don't have that luxury, and it's just gonna be a different dynamic. I don't exactly know what they've got planned. I've talked to them, and they said they are still eager to get back to recording, both of them. So we'll figure it out as we go, cross that bridge. I think it's gonna look different. I mean, it might change how often we record or whatever that looks like, but I don't know. I think we'll figure it out. Laura says she's here for Furby Tamagotchi, so I mean, we've got one fan already. Joshua, question. My team is going against an Elder Brain tonight. Any suggestions? I don't actually know what the Elder Brain is.
I don't either.
Is
I'm
that like
picturing just a giant brain.
is that like Mother Brain from Metroid? Let me
Maybe
Gotta
it's
outsmart it.
maybe it's super smart and you have to fight it with trivia.
ooh. Or like oh, I mean it is just kind of like a giant brain, but it's got like vines and like tentacles and stuff hanging from it.
Nice.
It's an aberration, a lawful evil aberration. Good luck, man. Oh, it's a CR14. Oh, Megalol? Oh, it's the controller of Mind Flayers. Ha! Yeah, good luck, bro. Yeah, I would try and Futurama it. Have you guys seen that Futurama episode where the brains attack Earth and they put everyone under mind control except for Fry because he doesn't have delta waves, so they can't control his brain. And the only reason he doesn't have delta waves is because he's his own grandfather. No, yeah, dude, you guys need to watch Futurama. It's legitimately like one of the greatest like
Is it
sitcoms.
still on?
No, it's been off for like 10 years, but yeah, so like it's so funny, dude. But he writes a book because I think the brain's goal is like to learn all of the universe's knowledge or something. They just want to be like a big brain. And so he starts writing this book that the brain starts reading, and he writes in the book, he's like, and then all the brains leave and blah blah blah, and so the brains read it and they're like, oh, it's time for us to leave. But he's also an idiot, so he's like, and then the brains fly out window for absolutely no reason. Dude, it's so funny. Like you need to watch Futurama. It's so good. So Elder Brain, good luck, bro. Yeah, good luck. I got no advice for you. I've never had to fight or had my players fight anything that tough.
Shocking grasp. Always works.
When in doubt.
When in doubt.
I mean, maybe the Elder Brain is wearing armor.
Mm.
Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Question: have you guys been planning or considering playing any D&D or other TTRPGs over the computer just for fun over the quarantine? It's been a super fun way to spend time with friends. I mean, Dan and I talked about it actually just the other night. Um, it's a little tricky, I think, for us because we definitely wouldn't record any sneak attack over the internet, but at the same time, I do miss playing D&D with my friends, but I know I've said this kind of at the when all the COVID stuff really started affecting the states and everything like that, but like the reason why we started this podcast really wasn't even to make a podcast. It was just like a consistent schedule for us to play D&D as friends. And then the podcast just like blew up into something we didn't expect. And so I don't want to ever like get away from that feeling of I just want to play D&D with my friends. You know what I mean? And the joy for me is sitting at a table with my friends. Microphones are not, just like goofing off and trying to make my friends laugh and them trying to make us laugh. And you know what I mean? It's just that's what really gives me life in terms of like D&D and collaborative storytelling and all that jazz. So I've been playing patron games on Discord with our tier 4 patrons, and honestly it's been a blast. Like especially since I'm not playing D&D with my friends now, like to have that outlet has been super fun. But it is like it's just a little tricky. Like people talk over, yeah, Jesslyn, I mean she's part of it. It's been awesome, and people talk over each other a bit, and I feel like it's just a little like there's a barrier for sure. And I don't know, I miss just the tangible, like at the table rolling dice, like seeing everyone's result when a big number is rolled or whenever Dan rolls terrible. It's just always super fun. So that's just what I miss. And I don't know, I'm not super eager to try and like replicate that by proxy, you know what I mean? But that's just where I'm at. I don't know where the other two are at. Maybe you guys desperately want to play D&D over the internet.
No.
I just miss playing. I don't really care how it is. Obviously, it'd be more fun to play in person.
Yeah.
I feel like playing over the internet could be difficult.
Yeah,
But I miss playing. I miss playing and using my imagination with my buds.
you know, just using imagination with the bros. Reed, do you have a favorite category of monster? Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, I can open that up to everyone too. Favorite category of monster. Um,
Easy.
Dan, what is it?
Easy. Easy ones.
Oh, the easy monsters.
The easy ones.
I like the demons, like the demons and the devils. I like those a lot because a lot of my world building is kind of built around this idea of like good versus evil anyways. And so the fact that there already exists in D&D lore like this hierarchy of, you know, how many layers of hell? The 9 planes including like the abyss and infernal and all that stuff, like all the planes of existence that have uh all of these demons and devils tie in. I don't know. I just feel it's interesting to me that there's already like pre-made good guys and bad guys, and like I can easily pull from them and help reinforce this story that I'm already telling. You know, with good guys and bad guys, and there's obviously the religious connotation, which is also kind of a part of how I write my world. So, um, I don't know. I feel like those are great to pull from. I'm a big fan of orcs. Big fan of orcs. Um, I also like ones that just do wacky, like psychic stuff, you know, like things that mess with your mind. I mean, so I guess mind
Mm.
flayers would be part of that. Displacer beast, like psionic type thing. I don't know. Those are always really cool for me too. What about you, Mike? What do you like fighting the most, and what do you like fighting the least?
I like. Let me see. Animated knife. That's a good one.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at monsters. That looks fun.
he's at the beginning of the book, the A's.
It's
He's
an animated knife and
animated armor.
no. Dragons.
Mm.
Give me dragons every day. Little ones, baby ones, big ones, mama ones. I just love them. They're just so fun. Like that's the epitome of Dungeons and Dragons, obviously.
Do you remember our very first campaign we played together? You guys fought a dragon, and uh, is that when you got the amulet? Was after defeating the dragon?
Maybe.
I think
Maybe.
that's when you.
Sure.
I think
Why
I
that's.
think
not?
so.
I think that's when you got the amulet for the very first time, and of course, because it was a dragon, it was hoarding all of this gold. And
Uh-huh.
I told each player that they could take as much gold as they could, like their carry capacity was times 10. So like, if
Smog.
yeah, so like if Josh, who was playing like a early version of Greyek, if he had a carry capacity of 500, he got to take 5,000 gold with him, and then like the same for everybody else. But Dustin wasn't there that day, and so he came back and everyone was loaded, and he had like no money at all, and so like he was very sad. But again, he should have been there because flipping Dustin. Uh, I mean, that's just how. Because poor Dustin. Don't say poor Dustin. He was probably just at home playing Smite. Uh, yeah, Ronald and Jash. Those are my boys. I love being able to throw those types of enemies at the characters just on a whim. Uh, I rolled some practice death saves and rolled 2 nat ones. That's just death, Christine. That's just instant death. You're dead. No coming back, and without like a revivify or
Lucky.
something. Dan.
Get to play that new character. Take
Uh,
that plastic wrap off.
since I'm up in Canada, I can't get together in person with my D&D friends anyways, so I've just embraced the internet. I mean, obviously, if that's all you have, the internet has, I mean, Roll20, and there's another like an actual like paid version, battlegrounds, bots. What's it? I forget what the like the fancy version of Roll20 is, but
Yeah, I've just heard of Roll20.
that has revolutionized the tabletop RPG genre to be able to quickly and easily play a game of D&D with your friends regardless of where they are. I fully embrace and welcome those types of options for people like Christine who can't get together with their friends. Um, but again, it's just not something like I just wouldn't want to like put a bunch of time into a campaign like that knowing that it's not really how I want to play D&D. I don't know.
But you'd play if I DM'd online.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. And I would make you hate DMing.
I know you would. That's that's honestly one of the main reasons I don't like to do it.
Dude, that should be the reason you want to do it. It's accept the challenge.
Oh, it just sounds nightmarish because you're just gonna put me in a corner and then just wail on me.
Yeah, pretty much. Dan, okay,
And then I'll just cry and then sign off the call.
no, let's spitball this, Dan. Let's theory craft your imaginary D&D game. Like, what's the setting?
Well, I already tweeted about this. It's pizza. Y'all own a pizzeria, and you gotta deliver pizza to really crazy places. But you have to procure the ingredients to make said pizza.
Okay.
And an answer or a question everybody needs to answer, every player needs to answer is, why do you make pizza? That's
Like-
gonna inform a lot of what I would do to you as characters and as the DM.
I mean, it sounds like you've already got it all worked out. Is this fantasy or is this like a homebrew
Oh
type
no,
of
it'd be in a fantasy world.
fantasy world? Okay, so like pasteurized cheese exists.
Sure.
Okay, we live in a magical fantasy world where cheese exists.
But there might be like magic mushrooms or something I don't know.
Oh, so we're putting like magic ingredients on these pizzas.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean if the customer orders it, you gotta go get it.
Okay. And you're the customer? Like you decide what the customer orders?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm down. I mean, I think this is a perfect opportunity for Mike to play Furby Tamagotchi.
Furby Tamagotchi. Why does Furby Tamagotchi make pizza, Mike?
Dan, you assume I'm playing your trash game, and I wouldn't waste my character on this terrible game, which
This would be
reminds me
where
a
I
lot
sign
of
off the call?
Josh's like Garbanzo game that he tried to play, and
The Power Rangers game.
yes. So Dan, I would play, but I wouldn't use that great character.
You wouldn't waste Furby Tamagotchi on this.
No.
Mm.
No. Is this sponsored by Papa John's?
Oh,
I
could
mean-
it be?
I mean,
Is
let's
the
go.
Papa involved?
I'll call up Shaq.
We should
You
get
say the
him.
Papa's involved. We'll do it next week.
No, we should go to his house in Kentucky and record there
Oh,
in his
there
$40
you go.
million mansion.
I'm sure
Get
he's
some
not
soda
doing
pops,
anything.
maybe.
There you go. Just a couple soda pops, good old boys. Alex says, I do want to say listening to so much podcast D&D has helped me as a DM create good descriptions without leaning on visuals. Hey, I love hearing that, man. That is definitely the one thing I tried to embrace the most with recording the show as a podcast is like no battle mats, no nothing. It's all up in here. And so being able to describe what happens in combat and like in the action of the moment, even more so than just saying like, all right, your attack misses, let's move on. It just adds so much like flavor and depth, and I think it helps paint that visual picture for not only the listeners but also for my players to help, like, when really cool things happen, you want to visualize it, you want to see it in your mind, and it just helps make you feel even more awesome. And when really bad things happen, it's the same thing. It's even funnier because you can picture it so well. It's not just like Dan rolls a nat 1 and we all laugh at him and then move on. No, I have to describe how hilarious his miss is, how catastrophic his failure was, in order to really sell to him and to the party just how bad he is at playing. So yeah,
It's the burden you bear.
yeah, it's the old double-edged sword. But yeah, so
Sorry I have to do this to you.
if we weren't on a
This
podcast,
hurts me more than it hurts you.
I love it. It gives me life. It gives me life. Yeah, so I'm super glad to hear that, man. Like that's definitely been an intentional thing for us, and I'm glad it's kind of carried over and helped enforce yours as well as other people you play, like other people who might listen DM style. So that's really great. Well, people are talking about blossoms and teamsters. I don't even know what that means. Someone's saying that they should make a spicy noodle pizza. I think I'm down for that.
Oh.
Danny, can you tell us some of your favorite characters who never made it into a game? There's got to be like a volume 1 character you had in the wings.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of his name. He was a half orc.
Oh, that was our 4E character. That was the one you were gonna make right after Kaiju died.
I think I made one for yeah, no, I definitely made one for volume 1 though, because I really wanted to add him to the party because I knew Greg would hate him so much.
Yeah. Oh,
But I was gonna like
is that the thing
I was
where we
gonna go
talked?
out of my way to try and be nice to Greg and
Right.
try and understand why he hated me so much.
I vaguely remember that. Didn't we have an idea to be like you always had a mask on or something, and
I
so
had some it
pe-
was something wild, yeah.
people wouldn't know you were a half orc until there's like a dramatic reveal and like you took it off, and then Greg had to see that he'd been traveling with an orc the whole time or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what that was, but that was funny. That was like that was just a troll character, but it's still like there's a nugget there that can be worked with.
I have one for volume 2 that I'm pretty excited about, but I probably will never get to play him.
No, probably not. I'm not killing Ethan. Ethan is the only constant in volume 2.
Mm.
Question: if Dan rolls in nat 20 right now, will Mike play in his game?
Yes.
I don't have any dice around.
And I'll use Tamagotchi in it.
Oh!
But you won't roll 20, so it's not a big deal.
not challenge accepted. Go find one, Dan.
Dan, you have like over 1 million dice.
I
You
know
don't,
they're
like,
all
have...
out in my truck.
What?
I
Out
keep,
in your
I
truck?
keep my dice bag in the center
You
console of my
packing?
truck.
You packing on the truck?
That's right, baby.
It's like a gun rack, but a dice rack. He just has it in case of emergency.
I get pulled over. The officer says, "Do you have a weapon in the car?" I say, "I got sets."
Depends on how these dice are
Okay.
rolling.
No.
Question: Reed, do you get any inspiration for Volume 2 from Galaxy Outlaws by J.S. Morin? I've never read that, so I would say no. Thank you for your question, Colin. Instead of offending Greg as an orc, he offended Sherwood as a necromancer. I think he offended Greg as a necromancer too, but yeah. Dan, what's the one thing you regret not doing in Volume 1?
The one thing I regret not doing in volume 1?
Yeah. I mean, like, there's many things that you did wrong.
I can give Dan plenty of examples of things he probably regretted.
Well, like, which thing? If you could go back.
So like once a week, I'm not kidding. Once a week, I think about not saving my dad.
Yeah.
But I also didn't want to talk to him.
Hmm. Is it like a cathartic thing? Like,
I don't know. I really didn't want to have that conversation because I didn't know what I was going to say. And it felt like a really uncomfortable conversation to have, like Kyo coming home.
More uncomfortable than I let I let your husband get his head chopped off to your mom?
I mean, I didn't really have to have that conversation either. We kind of peace out.
Oh my gosh. Bro.
Remember, I play video games to escape.
Escape this constant, the shade we're throwing, bro. I don't know, man. It's can you believe we're 2 years removed from Volume 2 or from Volume
No.
1? I mean,
No,
that's insane, right?
it's so wild.
Dude, I went back because I was in like I don't know. I needed to be reminded that like things were good at one point, and I went back and I watched. I looked at some old tweets from like when Volume 1 was wrapping up,
Uh-huh.
and like the response we got to our like the finale tweet, like the one I posted was like, "Okay, guys, this is the Volume 1 finale. Thank you, blah blah blah." It was just insane. Like, I went back and I was getting a little emotional. I was like, "Holy crap, people really like this." And
Mm-hmm.
I kind of forget sometimes, just like the response we got from the finale, and like it's super satisfying, and I like it's encouraging to know that people are like really big fans of the show, but
Mm-hmm.
also that like, okay, like I don't know that I can match Volume 1 in terms of like how I end Volume 2, but just like I need to trust my instincts a little bit, with Volume 2.
Yep.
And just like know that I have a story to tell, and hopefully it resonates. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Kenny says I still listen to at least one episode of Volume 1 every day. Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy, man.
Nice.
Alex says the finale and episode 100 were the best things I've ever listened to. Man, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. You know, I actually I listened to part of the finale in that same day. I was just like, man, this is good. I just this is actually pretty good stuff. I miss it. And again, this just makes me feel like I just miss playing with you guys. I just miss playing with you guys. I miss those moments where like we would be recording at Josh and Kelsey's and we'd be there for like 2 or 3 hours because I mean it always takes longer than it should. And
Mhm.
then like we would leave and then I would either talk with Mike or Dan or both outside like in their driveway for another
Yeah.
30 minutes and we just talk about what happened. Or I'd be like texting someone in the party throughout the week being like, "Oh, okay, like I got this idea. Sherwood needs to like do this or like the colonel needs to know this or blah blah blah." And then like watch it get like weaved in and stuff like that. It's just like I miss that kind of stuff. I miss it's I mean it's been what almost 4 months since we recorded because we were so ahead
Oh yeah.
with season 3 of like I don't know, man. It's pretty nutty. How dare on episode 100? Episode 100's great. You may not like it, but it's great. It definitely didn't feel good in the moment either.
Mm.
It was it was a tough it was a tough it was a tough recording. But in my opinion, it's the thing. That and like episode 100, the finale, and Brenna's song are like the 3 things I'm most
Mhm.
proud of in volume 1. I can hang my Pittsburgh Pirates hat on those 3 things and feel pretty good about volume 1. Hmm. So, not a lot of questions coming in, which is fine. I don't want to like I know we've been in hiatus too. So there's not a lot of things coming up that we'd be like, "Oh man, like we really want to know about this stuff." Um So don't feel bad if there's no questions. It's just fun. We want to do this for you, and we just like hanging out with you guys. So, thank you for joining us. Christine, question: Reed, do you think you would enjoy being a player in a long term campaign? It must be hard to go from knowing all the secrets to none. Um, yes and no. Yes and no. It depends on the campaign for sure. I've been in some campaigns where it it didn't feel like anyone gave a crap and that's fine if like if the goal of the of playing D&D is just to get together and goof off and maybe not play D&D but just like eat pizza and talk about movies and stuff like that. Awesome. Like that's great. I mean, we did that a lot when we were playing our very first campaign.
Mhm.
But I think I joined with a different expectation than what the rest of the group had. And so it was just really difficult for me because like I would want to just get there and play and like learn more of the story. And the DM who was playing I really enjoyed and he had like an interesting world, but it just wasn't like really getting dived into. It was kind of just kind of like very random and very freeform. Um so I don't think I mind necessarily not having the answers. When I play D&D, especially now with the kid and being married and being old and like when I'm saying I want to play D&D, I really just kind of want to play D&D. Like if Mike and Dan want to get together and eat pizza and talk about movies and stuff or play video games, like let's do that, but let's not combine the two to me.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm like other people might have different opinions on that, and that's totally fine. I totally respect that, but that's just not kind of my mentality right now. I am old, Christine, and I'm the youngest out of the 3 of us, so like good grief, old bones down there. I look the worst, but I'm the youngest, so let that play out. Dan's gonna outlive Mike and I both. Dan's gonna live to 130.
Those Asian genes.
Good luck, Dan.
Yeah. That's a good question though, Christine. I don't know. I like DMing a lot. I like DMing a lot though. All my questions are spoilery. I mean, you can ask them. I can choose not to answer, but you can
This is
ask them.
true.
Alex, to me, D&D is what happens when everyone can make it. It's pizza and movies when someone has to work. Yeah, that's a really great way of looking at it too. Like we had this happen a lot when we had 6 players and me as the DM. Very hard to get all of us together. Super hard to get all of us together. So if like Ricky couldn't make it or Dustin couldn't make it, we would still get together and just like goof off. So, because that was nice. So I guess yeah, there's a nice balance there. But again, I would still like to play D&D. So Laura, don't be afraid to ask your questions though. That's whatever you want to do. Mike and Dan, what movie are you most looking forward to the rest of the year?
Dune.
Yeah, it's
Oh, is that this year?
it's November, I think, or December.
He can't miss. The
No.
man can't miss.
Denis, he's perfect.
This is true. This is true.
I even watched that weird spider movie of his, Enemy. Very good, very weird.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh yeah.
I haven't been following movies that much because I can't go to them.
Yeah. Tenet got delayed.
I saw that.
So that and Dune, I definitely, because Chris Nolan and Denis Villeneuve are my favorite two directors right now. So to have two of their movies coming out in the same year, oh man, yeah, that's a grand slam for me. So,
did you see the preview for that?
I watched the very first one, where it just talked about like the time reversal stuff, and then I haven't watched anything since. I know they just put out a new trailer last week, but I haven't watched anything since. Jesslou, actually, Reed, I got to say your NPCs have gotten so much more colorful and interesting the longer you've been playing. They've been very fun. Oh, I appreciate that. NPCs are definitely my hardest thing to make. I always have grand ideas, but in the moment, I always feel like they all come across feeling the same. So, I appreciate you saying that. That's definitely the thing I try and think about the most when I'm creating like either individual sessions or larger like story arcs for like unique circumstances. So I appreciate that. Alex, question: what Volume 1 character would you want to be an NPC in Volume 2? That's a good question.
Jin Rummy.
Jin? We get Jin back?
He's got to be at like a space casino.
Ooh, Canto Bite?
The dealer at a space casino.
That'd be really funny, actually. He runs the roulette wheel at a space casino.
Oh, yes.
I'd like to have Westra back because I really enjoyed playing Westra. And I think the portal thing could work out very easily in Volume 2 as well. Like, you could easily sci-fi a portal thing, a portal system into place. I think that'd be really great. What about you, Mike? Any character you'd want to bring back?
I'd like to. I know I've said this before, but I think it'd be interesting. Not so much a character, but like a druid class into the space kind of theme. It'd be interesting to kind of see that kind of melded in with a space kind of tinge to it, or that kind of philosophy, I guess. Which I think we have things that are close, so that's probably bad on me for not knowing the lore. But
well, kind of, but like, it's funny because I tell everybody, this is not a new conversation I've had on either the Q&A or like mailbag episodes, but I always tell people I get inspiration from everything. And I was playing Last of Us Part 2, which you have not played that. If you have not played that game, I'm not spoiling anything. I just want to give that disclaimer. But there are these like little trading cards you can collect all throughout the game, and they're for some like it's like a comic book series that Ellie likes reading, and so you find these trading cards, and one of them is kind of like a Beastmaster kind of thing, and it gives this superhero the ability to speak with animals. I was like, why don't I have a speak with animals augment in Volume 2? Like, that's the easiest thing, and it would be so fun and wacky. I have to do it. And so, yeah, I added a speak with animals augment into Volume 2. So, it's just stuff like that. Like, I don't know that I would ever make a full Beastmaster class for Volume 2 or anything like that, but I love like playing something or seeing something and then being like, oh, dude, that like you tweak this a little bit and make it a wearable and give it a a charge or a usage limit, and all of a sudden, boom, like that's a brand new item. And so, yeah, like going back to Mike's druid thing is like I love the opportunity that Volume 2 allows to be able to take something wacky like speak with animals from D&D, and then like, well, how can I turn that into into sci-fi tech and make it an augment or make it just a wearable or something like that? So I think that's really fun. Question from Laura: did you base your deity system for Volume 2 on 3 sticks tied together because triangles are just 3 sticks? Yes.
Wow.
That's exactly it.
The strongest shape.
Um, probably Zelda, if more realistically, the Triforce. I like the idea of, and Josh even talked a little bit about it in Volume 1, like the idea of like good bad balance. I kind of like that, life death time. You know what I mean? So that was just like a natural thing to kind of explore a little bit further. Um, question from Colin: if you could personally remake any movie, what would it be, and who would you get to play the leads? Oh boy.
Oh man.
Any movie.
Hmm.
I don't know. That's a good question. Because, like, if I wanted to remake a movie, it would be a movie I liked but didn't love. And I can't think of a ton of movies off the top of my head because they don't really stick around with me that long. Where I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's like a solid 6 or a 7. But, like, what would I do to make it better? I don't know. I mean, the first thing that pops into my mind
Avatar.
is Avatar. No, this is the latest Star Wars films. Just because there's absolutely zero commitment to the story. But again, I wouldn't like recast it. I would just like rewrite them or have someone better than me rewrite them. But yeah, I don't know. That's a big question. Any film. Oh boy. I don't know. Um, maybe Hateful Eight, and
Ooh.
I would not cast Magic Mike. What's that guy's name?
Channing Tatum?
Channing Tatum. I would get him out of the film and make it shorter.
Would you kill his character completely? Or just not him?
I would just make it not him.
Hmm.
I'd make it not him. I just didn't like. He didn't fit. He looked like he was literally just Channing Tatum, plucked into and dropped into a Wild West film.
I thought that was kind of the point.
Was it?
Well, I feel like his character played an important role for such a short amount of time.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
like it could have been anybody. It could be anybody.
I don't. So like, you put someone like a Kurt Russell, a Samuel L. Jackson,
Yeah,
a Bruce
sure.
Dern on the screen. They just have so much gravitas, like already.
Mm,
You're like, oh my gosh, like this movie is legitimate. Just seeing Kurt Russell's mustache, you're like, oh
mm,
my gosh, this movie is legit. And then
mm.
you see clean faced baby Channing Tatum pop out from a floor cubby, and you're like,
That's fair.
I don't know. It just didn't seem like it fit. I don't know. That's just me though.
That's fair. That's fair.
Um,
Matthew McConaughey.
ooh, Matthew McConaughey, because I would love to shoot him in the face. Um, I wouldn't actually. That was just FBI if you're listening. Laura, can we have the entire life story of Jin Rummy? No. Thank you for your question. That's a lot. That's a lot. Maybe the Mishi slugs were really philosophical and now we'll never know. Maybe.
Hmm.
Or we could know because Danny kept one. People forget there were 2. Danny kept one. You're not gonna get the life story of Jin Rummy, bro. What are you thinking? Not gonna get the life story. Any last questions? We're almost at an hour, but we started about 2 minutes late. So if we got like 3 or 4 more minutes left, if anyone wants to add any more last minute questions. I do just want to remind everybody, first of all, again, thank you for being patrons.
Mm.
I cannot thank you guys enough for that. Your support just it helps us do what we do. And even throughout the hiatus to say we want to support you guys, we want to support Sneak Attack and collaborative storytelling. It is crazy. I mean, it just means so much, and we really do. Um, we really do appreciate your love and your passion for the show. But also, if you are, or we have, I think 3 days left, 2 days left, tomorrow and Monday before the end of the month. So if you want to get in on the exclusive art print for Volume 2 with official canonical character art for not only the cast but also about a dozen NPCs then bump yourself up to the tier 3, the class 3 tier before the end of the month, because I'm suspending the class 3 tier at the end of the month, and only those that signed up in June are going to be able to take advantage of that. So if you want the print, Mike and I have already seen the rough. It looks dope. Can't wait for you guys to see it. When it gets a little, I'd say when it gets a little bit further along before color happens, I'm gonna post it in Patreon so you all can see it. But I'm super excited for it, guys. But only those, again, only those in the tier 3, the class 3 tier in the month of June will get it. So just a heads up, if you were wanting to take advantage of that, bump yourself up for June, and then you can bump yourself back down for July, and then you'll be good to go. Just make sure your address is up to date. But last couple questions. Will the Mishi Slug live in the ball with Fury?
Ooh,
Might eat Fury.
I was just gonna say, what if he eats Fury? That wouldn't be good.
Can we at least get some bullet points for Jin Rummy so someone can write fan fiction? Imagine someone like a halfling on cocaine and also like Adderall. He's constantly
Love it.
riding that high and low. That's the
I
thing.
love it. I love it.
Yeah, so whatever you can do with that. I'm super grateful for Sneak Attack because I've met the best people, and I didn't think I'd be getting through COVID as sane as. Oh, I appreciate that, Christine. I appreciate that. Question: will the volume 2, the shirts, the ones that released in December, be available again at some point? The Carl's Repair one? Was that Carl's Repair? Oh
feel
no,
like it
the logo, like the volume 2 logo, with
Isn't that just up on our site on the store?
that. No, the Sneak Attack just like Mark is, but
Oh yeah, not the volume 2 one.
yeah. Yeah, it has been about half a year. We can see if Cotton Bureau wants to run it again.
We can just put it up on the store too.
We can just add it as a permanent fixture. There we go. We can add it as a permanent fixture. So yeah, we be looking forward to that.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a great shirt. So that is gonna do it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate y'all very much. Again, sorry for the kind of late notice. It was late for us too because Father's Day took up my time last week and I kind of just spaced it. So, I hope to see you all in July. I hope you are staying safe. I hope you're staying sane and all your families and loved ones are doing the same. But again, appreciate you very much. Be good out there. I will, I will send Josh and Kelsey your love, and we will see you all in July. Bye, guys.
Later.
Bye.